Hey there, and welcome back to Kimber's Crafts. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cute little ladybug card with all the bells and whistles. To start, we're going to use a scrap piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. And I'm using thick Whisper White cardstock this time because we're going to be coloring in this ladybug. So I'm going to start by inking up the first ladybug with Memento ink. And this ink works well when you're using alcohol-based markers. It won't smear your drawing. Okay, so that's ladybug number 1. Ladybug number 2. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my embossing machine and I'm going to die cut these. But first, we're going to color them. So I'm going to start using my Stampin' Blends. I'm going to be starting with the light Poppy Parade, and then I'm going to go on with the contrasting dark Poppy Parade to give my ladybug some dimension. So I'm going to start with the light. And I'm just going to do one ladybug. I know you guys didn't come here to watch me color. I just want to show you how good the Stampin' Blends work to create a contrasting effect. And the good thing about the Stampin' Up stamps, it shows you, it gives you an idea of where that contrasting color belongs, which makes it easier. Makes it easier for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my dark Poppy Parade right around these little spots here, right down the black mark there, around here we go. Now, because this is an alcohol-based marker, it takes a little time for the ink to evaporate, but when I go back in now, I'm going to be pulling that color, the darker color, in with my lighter Poppy Parade. And once that color starts to fade, the darker color will fade into the light, and you'll just be left with a slight contrast. Okay. And as I said, as the ink dries, you won't be able to see the contrast, but you will be able to see a slight darker color around these her little dots on the back. And I think for the little spots on her back, I'm gonna go in just with a little of the light gray granite, just because I think that the white is too dramatic. I'm gonna do the same for the little hands and feet and for the face. So that was the light granite. Now I'm gonna do a little contrast around the eyes, just wherever I think, maybe give some contrast to the eyebrows there, the little nose, and then go back in with my light granite and blend that in. And I think that's pretty good. I'm done coloring my ladybugs, and now I'm gonna run them through my Big Shot using the dyes that are included in the lovely ladybug set. And I will include the information in the links below that will give you the information on how you can purchase this from Stampin' Up. So if you've never seen a die cutting machine, this is my Big Shot. I don't know how much of it I can get into the camera because it's a Big Shot. But this has weathered the storm. It's very used, as you can see. This is my magnetic tray, my magnetic platform. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put down this plastic whoozamajiggets. And looks like, okay, this die goes with this ladybug. And this die will go with, let me make sure I'm on screen here. This die will go with this ladybug. Don't move. Okay. Now, as you can see, my dies shifted slightly on this mat. It's because it's been highly used. There's some dents or dings in it. But what you could use is to secure your dies in place. You could use a strip of washi tape. Works for some people, not for me. I end up ripping up the paper. You can use low tack tape to keep it in place. Okay, so I'm gonna put my second panel on top, and I'm gonna hope as I crank they don't shift. I'm gonna hear some popping, but that's the sound you want to hear because I let you know that you've made contact. Okay. Oh, look how cute. So I told you this was going to be a really fun card. Before we start assembling, I just want to show you what I have in my hands here. These are called wobbles. And what I'm going to do is, once I start assembling my card, I'm going to tack these little wobbles on the back of my ladybugs, and they're going to do a little dance for you. So let me start by assembling my card. Again, the dimensions will be in the list below. So what I have here, this is a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of Whisper White cardstock that I scored at 5 1/2. Next, I have a sheet of basic black, and that's cut at 4 and 5 1/4. I have a sheet of real red cardstock that's cut at 3 1/4 by 5. And then I have a sheet of thick Whisper White cardstock that's cut at 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Before I start to put my card together, there's one more stamp that I like to do, and that's this of this pretty flower here. So I'm gonna get out my Memento ink once again, ink it up. Okay, I want her to go right about here. Clean off my stamp. Now I'm gonna color in my flower, and I thought that I would use Daffodil Delight. So once again, I'm gonna start with the lighter color. And again, I'm just gonna start it off. I'm not gonna, I know you didn't come here to watch me color. came here to watch me stamp. So I'm just going to do part of this flower here. Then I'm going to show you how I will add some dimension to this flower by using the darker shade. So this is the darker shade of Daffodil Delight. Going to go in by the ribs, I guess you would call it, of the flower. Who knows? These little dark marks here, indication tells me that there should be some dimension there. So that's what I'm going to do. And once again, you take your lighter marker and you pull that dark shade into the light and vice versa. And as the alcohol dissipates, that color will just blend in. So I will see you back in a few minutes after I finish up coloring my flower. Welcome back. So now I'm ready to stamp my greeting. I'm going to use my mat here as a good gauge for lining up my sentiment. And this comes from the Lovely Ladybug stamp set, and it says, "Spread your wings and fly." Okay. Get rid of my Memento ink. I'm going to start out by putting just a little Tombow glue on the back of my grass here. And I'm going to use my tweezers to pick it up, just to make sure I get it on here straight. Okay, so that's one patch of grass. A little goes a long way, that's for sure. Hold that down. And then I think what I'm going to do is take one of my mini dimensionals and I'm going to pop up some grass to give it a little dimension before we start putting our card together. And these mini dimensionals come in handy for projects like this. Get on. I think that's enough grass. So I'm going to take my card base. I want to assemble this before I put my little wobbles on my little ladybugs. And I want to make sure I get everything lined up just right, so I'm not taking any chances with my adhesive. I'm going to use this Tombow Mono to help me line it up and give me a little wiggle room just in case I don't hit the mark immediately. Okay. So that looks pretty good. This is a 1/4 inch border. Now I'm going in with my Real Red. Now I'm gonna adhere my Real Red cardstock. And I created 1/4 inch border from my basic black as well. But for my ladybug and this little flower, I wanted a smaller border. So this will be an 1/8 of an inch border. And that looks pretty good to me. So now it's time for me to add my little wobbles. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool. And I'm going to remove the adhesive from one side of this little wobbly thing here. And I'm going to put that right up against the back of my ladybug. And let's see where would we like to put her. I think one should go there. Let me get my other ladybug. You have to excuse my hands and nails. I tell you, haven't been able to get to the nail salon since we're all on lockdown. Okay, and I think that this one will shake her little tail right here. That looks cute right there. So now that I have them down, now I could take the other side off using my take your pick tool to get in there. Any day now. Yes. So this is the base that I'm going to attach to my card. And this little lady will come in for a landing this way. Goodness. Okay. And last but not least, this little guy, because I figure there have to be boy ladybugs in order, anyway, this one will sit right about here. And there you have it. Let me get in there really good. Aren't they cute? I thought that was so cute. Well, thanks for joining me today. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also click that bell icon so you'll be alerted whenever I have a new video or whenever I go live. If you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to send you a complimentary catalog. Visit me on the web at kimberscraft.com. As always, it's been a pleasure stamping with you and spending some time with you. Stay safe out there. Comment in the section below. Let me know what type of videos you like to see. And as always, happy stamping.